Just change it back then and then.
Make sure it's right. Okay, yeah, so you're gonna so you send it to Tom. Alright, she's sending it to you right now. Sorry. I don't know why it decided to change all of our settings. I don't know. I don't know why it decided. It just decided to change all of the settings for YouTube in one night.
No.
You guys are ready? It's 'cause I haven't changed it over here.
Good afternoon, everybody. I suggest we wait for another minute. Those students who know me know that at 4 o'clock I'll close the door, and even if it's the dean, late is late, and bad luck, next time better. No, just kidding. We always start a little late. This is Caribbean time, and I hope you can live with that. So a few more minutes, please.
It's 4:01. I think you should close the door on him.
Yes, shall I?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He should learn a lesson.
He's always 5 minutes late.
She's definitely coming. What? She said.
Well, welcome again this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure and an honor for us, St. Matthew's University, to have you here on this very special occasion. It's not just special for this class, these fantastic people, but also for us, faculty, and for you, relatives, family, friends, colleagues, students, all of us. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Dr. Mark Verburg. I taught that class large animal internal medicine and surgery, and long time ago I also taught them parasitology, and they still know everything about that, don't they? Yes, they do. Last term I was asked to give a speech, and probably that took that much time that they changed the role for me this time, and I'm only allowed to have a few words to you and introduce the other speakers, and I'm very happy to do that because now I didn't really have to prepare a lot. What are we going to do today? There are quite some people who would like to contribute, have a small words, and it's all about these 4 people. So I'd like to start with the first colleague, ask her to come to the floor, Dr. Hoffman, who will probably also tell a little about herself. Otherwise, I know her a little longer already, so I could do that too. But I'll give the honor to you.
Thank you. All right. Hello. I need the microphone. Does it work? Is it working? Not at all? Okay. All right, thank you. Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, parents and family. You all look so young. Are there any parents around here? Well, parents and family and partners, welcome to this white coat ceremony. Thank you very much for inviting me to talk to you today. I am the small animal internal medicine professor for this bunch of class. That means dogs and cats, because I already had so many little horses in front of our clinic doors. So that's just dog and cat internal medicine. And I had the pleasure to teach these for 2 terms during the 7-term study here on this island. I have written down my speech because I know I will be a little bit emotional, and it's also not my first or second language. So let me read this to you, please. These 4 have been a wonderful class for me and for others I know. They have been very special, and I really mean it. These 4 are very mature people. They are very different one from each other, and yet they managed to be a great team together. So well that they are actually the first class that didn't bring it to a major breakdown crisis in their 7th term, because that's what usually happens. At the end of the whole thing, everything breaks apart, but that's not the case for these. They are really great together. Parents, if you are here, you've been doing a great job at raising these wonderful people, and families and friends and partners, you've done a great job in maintaining them to this state that they can work so well together. They have worked really hard, and your support and love has helped them to focus so well on their gain of knowledge during the last semesters here at St. Matthew's University. And look at them now, they look wonderful. They look really good, guys. You've done a great job, and I can see that you look like a... But I can also tell you that on the inside, there's even more going on. Everything they build is in the inside, and you cannot see that. But I can assure you that it's there, and that it's very strong for this group of people, because I have spent quite a lot of time to giving them a hard time for 2 terms. And the professors, the other professors as well, we have tested them, and we can give, for this bunch, we can give a quality guarantee. That's exceptional. They are really good, and they are absolutely ready for the clinical year. Please, let me take a chance to talk to each of them individually. Well, I'm so glad to know you. You're wonderful. And I'm very impressed how you can always find such positive words about everybody, no matter what happens, about your colleagues and about your colleagues' students. That's really something very, very special, and I'm glad to know you and to have seen this in you. You have this passion for horses, and you love to work with horses more than anything in the world. So you have made the commitment to come here on this island and work really, really hard towards this aim. And your loving partner has made the commitment for you, and I can only congratulate you for such a partner who makes these commitments and gives you the time and all the support. You're ready to go to clinics?
Woohoo!
Yeah. I know you love clinics. You will be good at clinics. I still want to say, please keep doing something for your small animals until you've passed Navy. Don't forget about them. They are there. Wow, all these hours that we sat in my office and we talked about topics like endocrinology and age and how it is affecting us. I remember all this. Well, I'm really, really glad for you that you made it. And we all wish you all the best for your next step in clinics. I know you love clinics, and again, congratulations to you and your partner for achieving this. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, not thank you. Congratulations. That's what I should say. Congratulations. Let me switch over. Tiffany. Strong, alert, responsible, intelligent and thinking, that's two different things. Very social and a good cook. You are all of this and much more, and you are more than ready for your clinical year. Congratulations to you and your family for your achievement. Congratulations to your family for raising such a wonderful, wonderful person. Tiffany is so good to have her around. It's so good to have Tiffany around. She is a partner to professors, and she's a partner to their colleague students. She really is thinking ahead, and she is planning ahead. Thank you very much for that. Thank you and your husband, Mr. William, I'm sorry for calling you Mr. It always sounds so weird, for allowing us and our students to come to your property and examine your animals. This is an extremely valued step in education. Meanwhile, we really thank you for your trust, your openness and kindness to share this experience with our students. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. Thank you very much, both of you. Do you know that Mr. William is sharing, providing some Massachusetts University with the possibility to examine the animals on his property. So thank you very much for this. We are all glad that Tiffany is coming back after a short visit to the States, just a clinical year, nothing special. And then she'll come back, and we're all happy to have her back in Ireland, and then I can continue to sit in her neck and ask her to switch over to small animals. There are lots of lovers that you can take care of in small animals. Thank you very much. I mean, congratulations again to you. And thank you very much for being such a great partner already. All right, next one. Vic. Focused, reliable, to the point, no nonsense. You are absolutely ready to take your next step to clinics and to your later internship and residency in or internal medicine or cardiology. Please let me know which one it will be. Wonderful. Vic never says too much, if not asked. But if asked, he always brings it out, and that's wonderful. With Vic, we came to a point where I would check my exam questions if he wouldn't have 100% to make sure they were good enough. So yes, I will miss that. I will miss my quality control later, my Vic quality measurement. It wasn't really true for the first exam, was it? That's another story. Okay, well done, Vic. Congratulations to you and your family and friends, to your success. and for always being better than expected, and for almost always being on time. In class, Vic would only ask very few questions, and only if something didn't immediately make sense to him. Because internal medicine as a whole makes sense to him. It's just easy. It's straightforward, and that's why he doesn't have to learn. It's very straightforward, very logical, wonderful. I will miss your A's in my tests. And these tests that always, these A's that always showed me that it's possible to have A's in my tests. So that's great to have. I will miss these A's. All the best for you and your career, and please don't forget to let me know which residency you will take at the end. Okay, last one, I'm actually shaking here. Oh my gosh, this is all payback for the dices, I guess. Connie. Disciplined, calm, friendly, extremely well organized. She appears extremely well organized. Responsible, grown up, a strong learner, learns and understands. And if I would have to sell her, and you would say, I want to buy her, but I don't want to buy the whole piece, I could say every slice of her is the same lean, high-end quality. I could sell her in slices, and I can guarantee you there's no hidden fat, nothing. It's just what you see is what you get. Always. No single moody moment, nothing. Perfect professionalism, perfect friendliness, always on time, always alert. Wonderful. Connie. And for those of you who want to buy her now, I'm sorry to disappoint you. She's in good hands, so no way of selling her today. But really, seriously, you are a star, Connie. You are more than ready for takeoff to clinics. You have a strong knowledge base, and you can bring it all out at the correct moment. Your professionalism and personality will bring you wherever you want to be. I have not a second of a doubt that you will be successful in your career. I think small animal emergency and critical care, animal medicine, or whatever it's called, this long word, would be a great place for you, but again, you can be wherever you want to be. There is no limit for you. Everything is open wherever you wish to go. You can be there. You are a star, Connie. Congratulations again. All right. Again, have to get some order into my paper without losing it all now. Congratulations to all four of you, and to who you are and your success here at St. Matthew's University and anywhere from here on. All four of you make me and my colleagues here at St. Matthew's University proud. I know how much you learned and achieved in my class, and you achieved so much more in other classes as well. You are ready to go. You moms, if you're there, because you look so young, you know that it never feels as if they are really ready. It never really feels like they are ready to let them walk to school alone, to let them step on their bicycle and take off, drive their first day alone in your car after they've received their driver's license. I would love to discuss all possible roads out there with them. Talk about all roads I have driven, discuss all traffic lights, stop lights, and driving on which side in which country. It's so complicated in all this, but at the same time, we know that we have to let them drive alone. We know that they are ready. I know they are ready. And you bet I gave them a hard time for 2 terms to know that they are ready. So for sure they are ready to go. So guys, take it easy, please. You know that there are studies out there that you can only be a safe driver after 7 years of driving. It's the same, I guess, for everything. So please take it slowly. Everybody knows that you're a new driver. You don't have to speed to become a good driver. Just go normal pace. and you'll be fine. Build up. You know a lot, you have your knowledge, you lack the experience. Experience is not just gray hair. So you have to build on that a little bit longer, but trust what you've built up. You have it all in you, I know that for sure. Take regular breaks to recover, that's important. Again, no worries, everybody knows you're a new driver, so don't worry about that. Just go your pace and go your steps. You'll be fine. Please take breaks from time to time, and please give your mom and me a call from time to time to let us know that we're doing well. And clinics out there. My colleagues and I wish you all the best for your future. You're awesome people, and you did an awesome job at St. Matthew's University. We will definitely miss you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Hoffman. That was a great speech. I personally didn't like that part on gray hair too much, but that was the only thing. The rest was more than true, because I've seen that too. We all have seen that too. Now it comes to the most important part of today, in fact, and that's the white coat ceremony itself. And I'd like to ask to come to the floor, our department chair, clinical sciences, Dr. Dickinson, together with Dr. Dunayer for the presentation of the white coats and the SVM pinning. I don't like the word pinning too much. It sounds a little scary, but I can tell you, my colleague has done that for ages already, and it will be a pretty safe procedure. So we'll just wait a second till... I'm ready for him. Are you ready? Oh my gosh. You ready for him? Dunayer? Ready too? Good. I do have some names on this paper that are not so easy to pronounce for me as a foreigner. I want to ask you to pronounce my last name correct as well. So I'll give it a try, and I hope by now, after all of these terms, they know my accent, and they will be able to understand who I do mean. So the first one, who's going to Oklahoma State University, is Ms. Tiffany Louise Tissell. Please come forward. Who goes to Iowa State University is my former, and that's why I'll miss him double, is my former TA, that means teaching assistant, and that is, well, I just call you Vic. I always called you Vic, and I'm not going to change that. So Vic, please step forward.
Give me a little hug, man. You did a fantastic job. take it out of the internet.
Okay.
I do hope you moved it.
I tried to review.
Are we ready?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Next, I'd like to step forward is Noel Rodolari, please. She's going to Iowa State University as well.
Okay. She was going to walk away, but I got her.
And last but not least, also to Oklahoma State University is Connie Wood, please.
Oh, no, too late. Oh. Oh, no, that's it. Pretty good. Okay.
All right. A big applause for all of you. Next, I'd like to ask to step forward Miss Marina Solomon. She is the SVM president, and I know she loves to have a few words for them.
Hi. Okay, so I have quite the speech to follow, but because I'm still learning, I'm a student, it's going to be short and sweet, kind of like this class. Now though we are all very happy that you guys finally made it to your white coat, we're also a bit sad. Each of you have left a huge mark on St. Matthew's, on our student body, and on me. I know I can always rely on a smile and kind words from Noel. Always, that's what you guys know. A quirky encounter from Connie in the hallways. A super funny and relatable post from Tiffany on Facebook. And let's be honest, without Vic, I don't know how I would have passed parasitology. So, thank you all. You've all brought something extremely special to St. Matthew's, and we'll notice your absence when you're gone. Now, as SVM president, I'm here to go ahead and acknowledge the students here who have participated in SVM the past 2.5 years. So that includes attending bi-weekly meetings, coming up with cool and nice events for all of us, and basically just making us feel like we're a community. And so I have 2 awards. The first one goes to Vic as fundraising chair. And before you sit down, because he's just an overachiever, this is a certificate to acknowledge the fact that he has been class representative for the past 2 months. I would like to thank each of you for helping make St. Matthew's a special school that it is. And although I wish I could have had spent more time with each of you. I know that you guys will branch out and do awesome in clinics and in your careers. And so a few of us went ahead and wrote some notes, memories that we'll miss, and just kind of nice message for you guys. These are their Bitmojis, because we are now in 2019 and this is what we all look like apparently. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass this out. So Vic, here you are. Thank you. Tiffany. Noel. And last but certainly not least, Connie. Thank you guys.
The next person I'd like to come forward is Amity Tivis. She is the VBMA Vice President, and perhaps for those who might not know what that means, you could explain that as well.
So I am the outgoing president, and Braylee will be taking over as president next semester, so I will be supporting her in her duties. But VBMA is the Veterinary Business Management Association, and it's meant for aspiring practice owners and those who want to learn more about business and the business side of veterinary medicine. And so it is a nationally recognized association, and its members are also nationally recognized. And at St. Matthew's, we participate in a certificate program, which involves going to 16 hours worth of lectures in 4 different topics. And so those could be business finance, leadership, operations, career and personal development, and it spans a whole wide range of categories. And so today we are honored to give Connie her pin as she has achieved her business certificate.
Thank you very much. The next part of this afternoon's program will be done by our Dean, Dr. Lee, and I'd like to ask him to step forward. You already saw him pinning Connie, but he will be the one who is also presenting the special St. Matthew Award. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rubo. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Cayman Islands. For those of you, it's the first time. I know some of you have come more than one time before, and for some, it's home. So, but welcome to St. Matthew's. Now, before I even get into the awards, I would just like to point out that though our class size is small, and it's actually one of the things we pride ourselves on because our students can then get individual attention. And it really helps them develop as they go along. But though our class size is small, sometimes small things come in big packages. And you heard from both Dr. Hoffman and Amity as well as Marina that they are part of the fabric of our school. And we're going to deeply miss them, some more than others, but we definitely will miss them all. But it is something that is very unique to our school. I just can't help but stress that. Okay, that's one of the beautiful things. Okay, so first of all, I have the pleasure of awarding the valedictorian, and traditional valedictorian, person who has the highest GPA is typically given that award. So in this year's class, our valedictorian is Vic. Our second award is the Dean's Award, and it is really given in memory of our first, well, let's say our first dean, I think it was the second dean actually, Dr. William Wagner, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. And the recipient of this award is someone who emulates what we think would be the ideal St. Matthew's student. So someone who does well in academics, yes, that's always important, but someone who's involved not only in the community of the school, but also the wider island community. And that again is one of the hallmarks of, particularly, I think even more so, I'm proud enough to say, our vet students, even more so than compared to our medical students, take part in a great number of ways in our local community. You know, they really build a lot of lasting relationships and friendships. And so much so, over the last maybe 6 or 8 months, we've had so many alumni come back, and part of it is just that they miss the island. You know, yes, they miss the school, but they miss the island. And a lot of them actually want to come back and work. And we do have a number of our alums who have come back to the island who actually work on the island. And that speaks, I think, volumes to the fact that, you know, we're not just another entity on the island. You know, we are part of the Cayman fabric. So it actually gives me great pleasure in announcing the winner of this award is none other than Tiffany Chisholm. Okay, so
Thank you very much. We have a next speaker, and it's always a little bit of surprise what will show up if we get to the class speaker. Well, I know, of course, you do know as well who that's going to be, but they are completely free to talk about whatever they'd like to. I don't think how long you'd like to, but it won't. How many minutes? 20? 40? Okay, the floor is for you, Vic, please.
Thank you, Dr. Greg. So, on behalf of our class, I would just like to start off by thanking everyone for coming here and sharing this moment with us. I'd also like to thank all of our families, our friends, professors, significant others for all the support over these past 2 years and 4 months. The time here was definitely challenging for all of us, and I'm sure we've all had those moments where we felt like that dread of, oh my God, I'm gonna fail this and fail this class happened more than once. And that's still quite fresh in the back of our minds. But we did make it, and although this milestone was quite a time, and we still have 1 more year to go, it does feel like an accomplishment. You know, thinking back to our first semester, if someone asked me if I expected to end up with these 3 lovely people, I would have said definitely not. My class is really well organized. They're always on top of their studying. They're very well prepared for each class, and I'm just sitting in the back, and only during breaks, I'll be doing a survey about figuring out what kind of bread I am. Okay, I care about the last part, but I am really glad to be able to share this moment with them, and honestly, I really wouldn't have it any other way. Although we don't always see eye to eye with each other on everything, it just when it comes down to that wire, we really do make a good team, and it's always a great experience being in vet school with each other. Over these last 7 semesters, I've had the luxury to really get to know all 3 of the people in my class, and although the time here feels like it's gone by, I'd like to just share a little bit about them with everyone here today. Tiffany, what can I say? If Gal Dot doesn't want to continue her role in the next Wonder Woman movie, they should seriously hire you. A loving mother, wife, friend, classmate, and all-around badass who makes an amazing spinach dip. Your honesty and openness, your views on everything, it's just been really great to learn from. As not only have you taught me, but I know everyone else, like, it's just been awesome to see how you really handle the situations. If something's bothering you, always handle it right away instead of waiting, and you do it in such a just and fair manner. It's amazing to see. I know for sure you'll make an amazing food animal veterinarian here, and the ag department definitely got really lucky, and they'll have a huge benefit with you moving forward. And if any farmer or any client even doubts you for a second, once they hear what you have to say, but also just the way you say it, it'll shut up any doubters of your ability and also your knowledge. And I know you've worked so hard to get to that level. Noel, if Adidas is looking for the next sponsor, you really truly fit their motto of impossible is nothing. through these 7 semesters, no matter what challenge came forward, no matter how difficult you may have perceived them to be, you always came on top and you always did it with a smile. You would always tell me, how I was the class leader or how you wanted to learn from me, but truthfully, I feel like I have learned a lot more from you in this short time. Your positivity and just your can-do attitude overall have really helped me, especially when I've hit some low points. And I felt like I couldn't do it, and I would vent that struggle to you, and you've always come up with something very encouraging and positive to say. And you were always buying, people cakes on their birthdays, on Valentine's Day, you're always giving out gifts, and they were just really nice gestures. And I'm lucky that we're going to Iowa together for this last year, and I'm looking forward to seeing all that you accomplished and getting to hear all the cases and experiences you have with all the equine cases I know you're looking so forward to. And lastly, but definitely not the least, is Connie. And I'm gonna be honest, I could spend an hour here talking about Connie, even though she doesn't think I could come up with that much information. I definitely can. I know we have been fortunate to have a lot of academic, financial, and moral support from parents, friends, and professors, but honestly, Connie has literally been there, not just for me, but others as well, when we really needed her the most. There have been so many times where I thought I just couldn't, for example, get my notes done for an exam and get that studying done, and she's always there, just lend out a hand when you need it the most. She's also never been late or missed a single class in all her time here, no matter how sick she's been. And you'll never catch her without a smile on her face, and her silly humor really makes it a really great time getting through those long days going by. Connie can be hard on herself sometimes. She definitely doesn't give herself enough credit for all the amazing things that she does, not only with her academic success, and there may be no award for these things, but I know you are you're so going to be incredibly successful, not only in your clinical year, but also in the future as a person, but as a veterinarian. Connie has a lot of interest in veterinary medicine, and as it sounds as of right now, she wants to focus on being the first vet to specialize in oncology, neurology, ophthalmology, endoscopic surgery, emergency medicine, and both small animals and exotics. I don't think I missed anything, did I? But actually, it's just amazing just to see how passionate you are, and I know whatever you end up deciding to pursue, I know you're going to do a great job in it. I can't wait to hear about everything you do and all the success you have. Thank you guys, you've been amazing.
Well, Vic, I didn't know you could speak like that, man. If I would have known that, we would have changed roles. And when you were my TA, you could have taken over my job without any problem. But it was completely true what you said. I agree with you. That brings us to the last speaker of this afternoon already. And so I'd like to invite our dean, who will have some closing words to all of you. And after that, please don't run away yet. We have some time and opportunity for refreshments. And it is always very nice for us as faculty to finally meet the relatives, parents, friends, whatever, where they have been talking about for ages. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Bobo. It gives me great pleasure once again to come up. And I know a number of our speakers have sort of extolled the virtues of each of the individual students. But I think again it reflects just how much we are able to get to know the students over the short period of time that they are with us. And I'm sure every one of the faculty members here can attest to the fact that we've all had personal interactions with these students. And everything you've heard said is really true. So both Noel and Connie, always there for smile. Sort of the opposites, because Noel is sort of the more quiet, easygoing person, but Connie is full of energy, high energy. But both of them always had smiles. And that's one of the things that I think makes a big difference when you're having a hard day. And only from the student's point of view, we, the faculty, also get energy from that sort of interaction. Then you have Vic, and I was just sitting on next to Dr. Shields, and she was pointing out, he needs to go into academics, And Vic and I actually had that conversation, so even if Dr. Hoffman has sort of tried to push him into cardiology or internal medicine or something else, I still do think that Vic will make an awesome educator at some point in his career. He doesn't have to get it right away, but at some point in his career. And he was always willing to help out whenever we had a school activity. He always sort of chaired our student panel, sort of speaking to the incoming students, given his experience. And it was through that I really picked up on what Dr. Shees was just saying, that he really is great at teaching and interacting with his colleagues. And then last but not least, Tiffany. You know, I met Tiffany before she came into the school. When I first moved to the island, she worked at DOA. So I met her all those years back. I was really happy and pleased to see her come into school. But not only come into school, but really shine throughout school. So no one has had anything but praise for her. And I must thank both yourself and your husband for allowing us to use your farm and your facilities. And I do hope that even if you're not here, that can continue until we get back, and then it'll be, you know, full-fledged. So we have a really great group of students, and we always miss you when you guys leave. We get to see you again shortly, in about a year's time. But please, in words of advice, the clinical year for you, at least for me it was, I'm sure many of the faculty members can say so as well, is probably the most enjoyable time you will have as a student. It's that last step before you completely take off the training wheels and kicked out to you know, the broader pastures. Use it as an opportunity for learning. Never stop learning. Even when you've left school and you're out in practice for 10, 20 years, it's always a learning experience. Never forget to check on each other. One of the challenges of our profession, unfortunately, is that there's a high rate of self-harm. And I think the strength of that really is from having good friends who you can simply reach out to and say, hey, what's going on? You know, you don't have to talk about the tough case that you had or the unfortunate euthanasia you might have had to do. Just reaching out and saying hello makes a big difference. So as Dr. Hoffman said, you know, please don't forget us either, because we actually live vicariously through you. So we love to hear whatever it is that you've gotten up to. And if you ever need any assistance, please also feel free to reach back out to us. The next year is going to be very intense. There'll be some rotations where you will have a minute for yourself. There'll be others that'll be a little bit more slow paced and you can get to catch up on your cases. But still make time for yourself. You really do need to make time for yourself. You know when you are pushing that limit. So please, find whatever release it is that works for you, whether it's reading, writing, taking part in some sports, going to the gym, you know, whatever it is. Please make that time for yourself. Okay? And I was cleaning out a desk a while ago and I came across some wonderful words of wisdom. And these are all from very renowned persons. So I thought it was very apt. So the first one says, I can always tell which is the front end of a horse. But beyond that, my art is not above the ordinary. And that is from Mark Twain. The second one was, always remember a cat looks down on man. Dr. Daniel can tell you about that. A dog looks up to man. But a pig will look at a man right in the eyes and see his equal. And that was from Winston Churchill. That was Winston Churchill. One a little bit more serious, to study medicine without books is to sail an uncharted sea. While to study medicine only from books is to not to go to sea at all. Okay, and that was from Sir William Osler, who was actually one of the founders of Johns Hopkins Hospital. Okay? And then the last one, which is one of the things that sometimes all students, I think, are guilty of, depend upon it, sir. When a man knows he is about to be hanged in a fortnight, it concentrates his mind wonderfully. That was from Samuel Jackson, who was an English playwright. So that one just says, don't procrastinate. Okay? You will have a year, work hard, and you will reap the benefits of it. And we look forward to interacting with you again within a year's time. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please give our Spring 2019 class a rousing round of applause. They're
Thank you very much, all of you, for being here, sharing all of that with us, and consider the bar as being open.
exam? Yes. Congratulations. Great. So good.